Before you get to your the final question, I just wanted to. I know that you've recently wrote a book that's going to be coming out in the future soon-ish. I was intrigued to know what someone with your life, what how that translated into literature, what that book is about, and if you could tell us a little bit about it.
When I sat in the gym for 6, 7 hours a day with Natalie, I realized that I better figure out something to do. So I joined a gym myself. And then I thought, well, okay, now that's good. You're physically okay. Now what are you going to do with your brain? Because you can't just sit there and watch girls work out. That's crazy. So I thought, okay, I'm going to write some stories about things that I loved about my work for my kids because they don't know what I did. They were too little. They didn't know why there was so much. And so I want them to know. And that's how it started. That started in 2011. And I finished it about a month, well, I mean, every time I open it, I find something I can change. But essentially, I finished it this year. It's about 78 short, like 1 to 6 page, just episodic things that happen, little stories like we've been talking about here, of things that made a difference to me about the people I worked with or the situations I got in. And so it's for kind of people who like film and also people who want to know what the business is like behind the scenes.
And what is the book called?
It's called Best Seat in the House, strangely enough. And it's the subtitle is An Assistant Director Behind the Scenes of Feature Films. And this is the cover that I'm thinking of trying to do. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's a shot from Back to the Future 3. I'm standing in the street with all these people running around. And I want to show you one other shot that is in the book. If Neil Preston would give me permission, I think he will. This is right before we shot on Times Square. It's Tom and me going over because I cued the whole shot with him. So that's in the book. It's stuff like that. It's like it was how we pulled off Times Square. It's like how Milos Forman faked me out, making directing look easy. A lot of stuff.
I'm going to tell you something I told him, and I'm asking you. I'm going to segue this into the last question. I told him when he told me who we were going to, like when he told me who we booked, I was like, okay, let me do my research. And I was like, are you sure we got the right guy? That's number one. And I was like, okay, it's really him. That's number one. But one of the things I talked about, I'm like, dude, he did the Rick Moranis, and what I meant by that was that you for whatever situation happened in your life, you put your kid in front of your career, and most people don't understand that. Like again, that child means so much to you. And like he mentioned, she's never going to forget that. So you leave a lasting memory. Your films, no matter how long they're out there, will never make more of an impression than you've made on her for what you've done. It's not a sacrifice. It was an honor to do what you did. So we want to commend you from that here at the show. And so I guess one final question that I guess if we didn't have you, I would ask Rick Moranis, which would be is, hey, what's your favorite thing, or should I say, what do you miss most about being on set, no matter what it is?
The crews I worked with, they were my life's education. They work, you would not believe the things they take care of behind the scenes. The directors, producers, people have no idea what is going on, and the depth of the commitment that goes on, the knowledge they have, the workarounds they have for things that they have to, oh, we don't have money for that. You can't do one of those, and they figure out a way to do it with no money, and the commitments they make. And they all are dads and moms too. And they all have families that are going on. And they're, I mean, people don't give crews enough credit. It's normal. And they're fine with that. They are used to working behind the scenes and without a lot of shout outs, but I shout them out when I can. There's nothing cooler than being able to represent a crew. That's another thing I really liked.
You have such a genuine, just authentic the way that you look at the industry and the work that you've done and the people you've worked with. It's so real and also respectful. I'm sure that the book you wrote is going to be very interesting, and for anybody that has seen all of the films that you've worked on, I'm sure they'll find interest in it, and people that are filmmakers, I'm sure there's insight from that perspective as well.
I want people to know why I loved what I did, and I did love it. You can't. I don't think you can do what I did in the way that I did it without loving it. You can't. And so I don't know how that's going to work yet. I'll tell you when I know.
Okay.
Right. Modest.
Well, so we'll just say keep an eye out for David McGiffert's book, Best Seat in the House. Just Google it every month or so, see if anything pops up, and if it does, purchase it. Find us in all these links that's coming up right now.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.